Is your marriage falling apart because of your excessive drinking? Do you find yourself making promises to her over and over again that you're going to stop just to break those promises? And now she does not trust you, and this is hurting your relationship with her. Well, you're not alone. That was me. And today, not only have I saved my marriage, but I have been able to bring the relationship with my wife to the next level. So if you want to know how, stay tuned. Alcohol can drive a wedge in a relationship between two people because when you drink, you can become emotionally distant and disconnected. Our personality tends to change when we are under the influence of alcohol, and many times we use alcohol as a means to avoid strong emotions. But when you think about it, relationships are about sharing those emotions and being able to show yourself as you are. And when we drink, we tend to choose alcohol over meaningful time together. Drinking too much alcohol also leads to lying because we lie about how much we drink, about our whereabouts, and about what we do when we are under the influence because quite frankly, we feel embarrassed, we feel ashamed of some of the things that we do. So we lie, and these lies breed distrust in our relationships. And drinking too much alcohol takes quality time away from you and your wife because you might miss important conversations, important moments that are key to a healthy relationship. Alcohol also interferes with your intimacy because it creates an emotional and physical disconnection when you're drinking or when you're drunk. It also affects your performance and your libido. So drinking too much alcohol does not lead to a healthy, intimate relationship. Alcohol breeds distrust because it builds emotional walls, broken promises, unpredictable behavior, suspicion, and resentment, which are not formulas for success. Finally, alcohol lowers your self-esteem, hindering your ability to be a good partner. And this breeds more drinking and even more damage in your relationship. Okay, so how can you rebuild that trust again? How can you get your relationship back on track? The first thing to understand is that there is no quick fix. You're gonna have to work at it, and it may take time for your wife to start trusting you again. So once you start working on repairing your relationship, don't expect your wife to trust you right away because this might lead to you feeling frustrated because you might feel like you're doing the work and you're starting to change your behavior, but it doesn't mean that she will trust you. Think about it. How many times have you broken your promises? So even though it might feel real for you this time, for her, it's just like all the other times where you promise that you're going to change and then you don't. So the most important part of rebuilding your relationship with your wife is to begin to communicate with her openly and honestly. Start sharing your struggles, the things that you feel stuck with, the things that are making you feel angry, anxious, or depressed. You're gonna have to show a vulnerable self that you might not have been willing or able to show before. And this might be very hard to do because you might feel like you should not have to burden her with these issues. However, think about what's going on. Right now, all the drinking that you're doing is hurting the relationship, and she feels very frustrated and she doesn't know what to do and how to help you. So by you opening up and communicating with her what it is that you're going through might allow her to see behind the curtains of what's going on with you and why you are drinking so much. This at least will provide her with some level of understanding and allow her to figure out how can she help you. Which brings me to the next point, which is accepting help, her help, or help from anybody out there who's able to show you how to get out of this hole that you're in. And trust me, by you allowing your wife into your trouble, by allowing her to understand what's going on with you, will release a lot of the pressure that has built over the years between you and her. In my case, I hid my problem for very many years. And I say I hid, but she was not stupid. She knew something was going on. She would find me stumbling in the middle of the night, or she would find me passed out on the couch. She knew there was a problem. And all of the time, she tried to give me the space to try to figure things out. However, things were spiraling out of control, and I was not getting better. As a matter of fact, I was getting worse. And I was seeing the writing on the wall. Not only was I gonna hurt myself, but I was gonna hurt my family and anybody around me. Now you have to learn to take responsibility for the role that you play. Because when we are drinking, when we are in active addiction, we tend to make excuses for everything that we do, and we tend to blame everybody else except ourselves. So you need to start taking responsibility for the things that you've said, the things that you've done, and this will show your wife that you are actually serious about making things better. You're gonna have to allow her to feel and express her own emotions of anger and frustration and disappointment towards you. As a matter of fact, you should try to encourage that, because just like you are sharing your own emotions with her, she should be able to share what she's felt. You need to know what you put her through her own words, and help her to process those emotions so you guys can start from a more level playing field and start growing the relationship again. You have to start showing that the relationship matters to you through actions and not through words, because you've been saying all these things all along. You might be saying the right things, but then your actions say something different. So you have to stop promising that you will do this or you will do that, and you have to let your actions speak for themselves. And if you need to make amends, if there are things that you've done that have truly harmed the relationship, then you need to talk to her and figure out what are some of the things that you can do in order to amend those actions, in order to make things better for her as well. This could mean doing more things around the house that she has to work on because you're not available, because you're drunk. If you have kids, this might be being a better father, being more emotionally available for the people in your household. This might mean increasing your level of responsibility overall, so she doesn't feel that all the burden is on her. And then give time for your wife to be able to process her own emotions. Don't hurry her. Listen to her and understand that she's on a different time frame than you. And just because you're in a hurry to get better and to get your relationship back on track, it might take time. So you're gonna have to respect her timeline as well. And if you truly care about this relationship, you will allow time to heal. And don't forget, think yourself lucky because your wife is still willing to work with you, is still willing to listen to you and to see what you do next. That means that she truly loves you. She might not trust you, but if she's willing to go through this process of healing with you, it means that she feels a lot of love for you. And that is gonna have to be enough for you going forward until a time when she start trusting you again because of your repeated actions, because you following through the things that you said you're going to do over and over and over again. And if you do this long enough, you will reestablish that sense of trust in your relationship with your wife. Finally, and I know you don't want to hear, but not all relationships can be saved. You can invite your wife to work with you in trying to make this relationship better, to try to improve how things are right now, but you cannot make her. You have to focus on your recovery and on your personal growth, on making your life better for yourself first, and in doing so, allowing yourself to be more so you can share with others. But you have to think about yourself first. You're no good to anybody if you are in active addiction and if you don't have your wits and your mind and your strength to yourself. Invite your wife to work on the relationship with you. But if she can't, then you must accept her decision with dignity and continue the work to get yourself out of the hole and to become the best version of yourself that you can. Recovery is more than just quitting alcohol. It's about rebuilding your life. So even if this relationship does not survive, this will help you and will guide you with all your future relationships. And let me tell you this, the level of intimacy and understanding that you can achieve with your wife once you decide to be open, to be plain, to be truthful is amazing. And it is likely that she will allow herself to be vulnerable and open with you. So you can set the example. You can be the leader in your relationship by setting the tone, by showing her how things are going to be going forward. And there is no telling how high your relationship can climb once you have established this level of trust and openness. I know you can do this, and it will take some work for you to repair the relationship with your wife, but it can be done. Become the man that she married, and better yet, become a better man. If you want to learn how to be a strong man without alcohol, check out this video I made right here just for you. And if you would like some help to stop drinking, consider joining my mentorship program, Sober Now, which I will provide you with a blueprint, with a plan on how to maximize your chances to stay sober and to rebuild your life and become the best version of yourself. This is Alex Rivera, the Sober Dad with Activation Energy. I will see you in the next video.